What's going on, guys? It's Adonis here with my boy Toshi from ToshiAdventures. We're about to get into this Spider-Man review. This is going to be spoiler heavy. I have a list of kind of topics we're going to go over because there was a lot in this movie. So yeah, let's get into this. Thoughts on Spider-Man. So what were your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Spider-Man in this movie?
I mean, I already had a high expectation from watching, what is that, Civil War?
Yeah.
So he completely conquered that expectation.
Yeah, 100%.
He smacked everybody. Yo, this kid is nice.
Yeah.
This kid is the best Spider-Man. This kid's the best Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He completely played his role to the T. I really enjoyed watching him, for sure.
For sure. I feel the same way. Because my favorite Spider-Man in the past was actually Andrew Garfield. I felt he was better than Tobey at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I felt Tobey was better at Peter Parker.
It makes sense.
Because Andrew Garfield was too cool for me, I think, as Spider-Man. I mean, as Peter Parker. He was just too cool.
Right.
But yeah, Tom Holland killed Spider-Man, bro. He was like the epitome of what I thought Spider-Man should have been, especially the high school version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That we kind of grew up with. Yeah. In the series, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He did his role. He did his job well.
So next we got Peter Parker. So this is obviously a different character than Spider-Man because he's never that confident.
Right. Never.
As Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel of Tom as Peter?
His Peter Parker was good. He was a little more out there though. He wasn't like the Peter Parker that we would think that he would be, like the wimpy kid in school.
Right.
He actually wasn't that Peter Parker.
Right.
He wasn't top of his class or anything like that physically, or all that stuff. He wasn't the cool kid in campus, but still he wasn't. He had no scenes where it made him feel like he was the nerd or the geek or the punk or the
Yep.
He was being made fun of a little bit, but it never seemed like he was that outcast.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it, I was like, he never really felt like he was just like Peter Parker, the school nerd. I didn't feel that at all.
I agree with you on that one too.
I was like, okay.
I agree with you on that one too.
But I mean, they didn't focus on that, so
true.
They kind of focused on other aspects. They, when he was Peter Parker, it was him figuring out his Spider-Man life. Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than figuring out his teenage life, he had some parts figuring out his teenage life, but they didn't come across that way. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I had to second you on that one because for me, I'm used to seeing him as that like you were saying, that nerd he's like the outcast in that space.
Yeah.
But they had him on a team of other nerds. Yeah. And he seemed like the coolest of the nerds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
He was cool.
I was like, okay, he's a cool nerd. People looked up to him in that space.
Yeah.
And they didn't really show any opposition. You saw the Flash Gordon stuff.
Yeah.
But it seemed more jealousy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It seemed very jealous heavy.
Yeah. It wasn't like, because even Flash was on the...
Yeah.
He was on the decathlon, so it's kind of like...
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't a jock.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he kind of was, because they showed him in gym doing his thing, but he wasn't like the Flash that we know.
Exactly.
The football jock, bullying all the kids in school. Everyone's afraid of him.
Right.
Like, honestly, nobody was really afraid of Flash.
Yeah.
He was
a DJ.
Even Peter wasn't afraid of Flash.
Yeah.
Flash just made fun of him. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Or attempted
to, right? And so that's why the things that Flash did never affected Peter, which usually it would. So that's what kind of made it okay. Yeah,
so I feel like Peter Parker-wise, for me, it wasn't necessarily the best Peter Parker that I would have preferred, because I like that sense of opposition as Peter.
Yeah, completely different. So nobody can ever suspect you.
Exactly. Exactly. So I was like, okay, I saw what they were trying to do.
Right.
And I thought it fits this version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I did kind of miss that, being bullied and has to restrain himself from handling him.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Because they have those moments.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he has to reserve himself from destroying this guy.
Right.
So I like that a lot. But yeah, so I think Spider-Man, him as Peter Parker, It was good, but I still think Toby might have still been my favorite in that regard as Peter. At least in the first 2 movies.
Right.
The third one was not.
Horrible.
The third was not the business. All right, so the next one is Iron Man in this movie. I know a lot of you saw, obviously in the trailers, it really showed, they're really trying to paint a picture that Spider-Man was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're really showing Iron Man quite a bit in the trailers.
They did.
So I was really concerned going in to see how much Iron Man was actually involved in this movie. Luckily, he wasn't. He wasn't like a main character.
Right.
He was a good support, which was dope.
He was.
But how did you feel about like him as a support in the movie?
I mean, I felt he played his role. Like, I have nothing against Iron Man in this movie at all. He was just, he would come in and do what he had to do.
Yeah.
And he was in and out. Like, he played him. He was still Iron Man. That's the thing. Like, he was still that, he always says playboy, billionaire, philanthropist. Like, he's still the same guy.
Right.
And it was kind of like, I honestly thought he would be a more mature Iron Man.
Okay.
But you got to think about the time period. He just came out of Civil War. So he still hasn't matured from that asshole Iron Man yet. So he was still being a dickhead, which that's Iron Man. So it was cool. It was cool to me. Like, it was cool.
I'm the same, but I kind of think he did in parts where he was like, I want you to do things that I wouldn't do. But at the same time, like he wants him to be better than him.
Right. Yeah, he did. No, he did. He completely made that clear in that part.
For sure.
He made sure, like, yo, like, I'm listening, bro. Like, I'm here for you because I see the potential.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, but besides that, he still played his asshole part. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
He definitely had his dick moments for sure.
Yeah.
It was very Tony Stark, which I like that they still had that.
Yeah.
I loved how he coached him when necessary, but he wasn't involved all the time.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Like, even though he was trying to contact Tony the entire movie, I'm glad that he wasn't always popping up.
Yeah.
Like being Captain Sabo. Like, I'm glad he didn't do that because that was going to annoy me if they did. So I love that they just focused on him as a substitute or like a support character.
Yeah, straight. Straight up.
And it was cool, almost like a father figure to him.
Yeah, similar. I mean, obviously, because that's the only father figure that he could have in there. So yeah, it was good for him to have someone to look up to in that realm. That would just pop up, to be at the right time and give him that right advice. Yeah. And obviously it worked out. Yeah.
And I think one of the things as well is because of this version of Peter Parker, he was obviously still very new to his powers.
Yeah.
Still brand new, but at the same time, he was still such a kid about everything, which I did like a lot. They didn't try to make him an adult too fast.
They didn't. Because even they had the little confrontation. He's like, 14-year-old. He's like, I'm 15, homie.
Exactly.
Like, I'm 15. Wait a minute.
Exactly.
But like, it's dope that we get the picture. He's still a 15-year-old kid. He was throwing his temper tantrums. Yep. He was, he was being that teenager. I remember me at 15.
Oh, yeah.
So he was being that. And I was like, okay, I get it. You want to be popular in school, but, he also understood he had a bigger responsibility. Yeah. So, because come with great powers,
I'm glad they didn't use that line. I'm so glad they did it
too.
I was like, you use this line, bro. I'm going to be so upset.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
And that's another thing, too, that they didn't use that whole... No backstory. We know his backstory.
We know it. So, we know he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what's dope. Is that we come into... He's already Spider-Man. The town knows he's Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, he's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's just still creating that name for himself, but he hasn't come across any huge villains to... solidify his name.
Right. I think probably the best villain we've seen in Marvel yet. Vulture.
He's one of the best so far.
Bro. Him and Loki to me are like...
He's one of the best so far. Like, but I mean, who's playing the Vulture. Though.
I know, bro. Like,
that's the thing.
Michael Keaton, he put it down, bro.
That's the thing, man. It's the actor behind it, too. Like, you would see when he turned on that evil intent. Because he's in that, I do this for my family. Right. So he was chilling. Yep. But then once you see him snap into that, it's time to kill. And that shit was... Yeah. Boy.
Bro, that was super tight.
Such a good twist they put on Vulture, too. Yeah. You know, so it
was like the tech and
the tech was
crazy.
The tech was crazy, bro. But but that's what's dope. Like, the opening scene, they show him he got his little temper, so you know he got a bad side.
Right.
And then, like I said, 8 years later, changing the game, running things.
Yeah.
And boss man don't play no games,
bro. Like that was, like you said, that moment in which he now felt like his family, his life was threatened,
right,
by the guy that he told to step.
Yeah, he had to snap on to that.
He was like, "You're right." Bang.
Boom. Like you're like, oh
wow.
Okay.
You just got dark real quick.
So he does do that.
Yeah.
Right, because you didn't see it until then. You're like, oh, so he gets down.
Yeah.
He's real. He's a real deal.
Yeah.
He for sure was the real deal.
No, what I did like about that too is because I was hoping it wasn't going to turn, like I said before, into an Iron Man movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And even though it showed Tony Stark, his parent company was taking over getting all the materials from the alien crafts and stuff like that. He didn't put revenge out on Iron Man. No, he wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
He didn't.
He was like, cool, like if this is the landscape, well, I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine.
I'm gonna get mine.
He wasn't like he wasn't in the business to get at anybody.
Exactly.
That's what it was. He was trying to come up himself.
Yeah, for his family.
Right.
So the perspective was dope.
Completely, yeah.
But right when that switch happened, and that was his current thing through the entire thing. Like he wasn't upset at Spider-Man until he started messing with his money.
That's it.
And he was like, "Look, bro,
fucking my money, homie."
Man, so I loved that, and I love that he didn't die.
Yeah, I really, because when he fell and explosion, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Like in my head, I was like, "No way."
And that's how you go out,
right?
No,
and I was like, "Nah." Then he came, I was like, "Aha, got it." So it's dope.
Yeah, they painted that scene really well too, like, because he was trying to save him.
Yeah, and
he had no more shooters left. Like, I was like, okay.
He tried, and
which was a dope scene too, like, because I love that scene because it showed that like he's becoming a hero.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He is. No matter what, if it's a villain, he's not trying to kill. He's trying to hurt people. He's just trying to save everybody.
Right. And they made that apparent multiple times about that kill mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, kill mode. I was like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah.
What do you need that for?
Was like, wait, does Iron Man have a kill mode?
Bro, that's all I'm like, hold on.
If the spider suit got a kill mode, what?
He definitely has a kill mode.
I was like, wait, but what is he killing?
Right.
Like,
but he every time was like, no, disable. Like he was not trying to kill anybody.
Yeah.
So I love that they made that like apparent the entire movie. Like, no, we're not trying to kill anybody.
They made that apparent the entire movie.
But yeah, Vulture, Michael Keaton, man, salute. You beasted it, bro. Like,
Beast.
He was creepy when he needed to be creepy, menacing.
I'm like excited to see him come back.
Boy.
Like just with a squad or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Sinister Six.
And just start, boy.
Yeah. Sinister Six.
Yes.
Boy. So we're going to get into kind of like the reveal of Vulture because, and it wasn't obviously to us, it was more to Spider-Man, to Peter Parker. His reveal, seeing who he actually was in his house. That scene, bro. All right, guys, I just need to paint a picture really quick. We're in the Chinese theater here in LA watching this movie, and I tell you, when that door opened, the crowd went crazy.
Yo.
Like, I got goosebumps right now. Like, that scene was nuts.
It was good.
Like, I was like I didn't know how to react
It was honestly, that was one of the most expected moments of the entire movie. Yeah. It was like almost like a twist, but not a twist, but it was a twist. It was like, bruh, like, we did not see that coming at all.
No.
We just thinking, okay, this dude's provided for his family.
Yep.
Spider-Man got a crush on a girl.
Yep.
Usual.
Yep.
And then the two worlds mixed.
Bro.
Get the...
Bro, I didn't, to be honest, like, maybe some of you guys knew that was coming, but, like, for me, like, I was expecting him to find out who he was, and then he goes after his aunt or something like that.
Yeah.
But, no, he was the father. The father, mixed race relationship, by the way.
Yeah.
Hashtag awesome. That was crazy.
They in it.
Yes, I love that. But I was just like, and I think that was a dope part because you weren't expecting a mixed race family.
No, you wasn't. No, exactly. Because you see a black daughter, you wasn't thinking she was going to have a white dad.
Exactly.
So you were not able to put those two together.
I loved it.
That shit was awesome.
I was like...
That reveal was awesome. And how Peter looked, that expression.
Bro.
He's a great actor, bro.
He is.
That expression he had once he opened the door and realized, oh.
Yep.
Like, you? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
He had to keep his cool.
Boy.
And just...
He was trying not to lose it.
He was trying not to lose it so bad because he knew he's a bad guy.
Yep.
He's like, but I can't reveal my identity. I gotta play along.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he did good.
Yeah.
He did great.
Bro, and I think too, on top of him protecting his identity, he wasn't trying to have his daughter find out who he was.
No, he wasn't.
Which
They
was
don't
crazy.
know. They don't know. They
Right.
don't know where the money comes from.
Which was crazy. So I was like, yo, it's like, you have that part of him trying not to, you know? But then in the car ride, oh my God.
A great scene.
Equally as dope of Vulture, you know, and it was crazy because she was basically telling on Peter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that. She's a fucking snitch.
I was like, man, like she's telling on him and...
But the Pops was just, he's smarter than what you think he is.
Exactly.
Like, he's not a dummy villain.
Exactly.
So he was literally putting 2 and 2 together every time. Like, out there in D.C., man, he's like, it was crazy, huh? Oh, but you weren't around, huh? Okay, well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but the other event, no, you weren't there either?
Yeah, he was
what?
Piece by piece.
Yep, and timeline, like, wait a minute.
Yep.
That nigga showed up the same time as me.
Yep.
I know his voice sounded familiar.
Yep.
Got it.
Boy. Like,
got it.
And then when he told him to stay in the car, we need to have the father conversation. Boy. I was like, oh, this is about to get real.
I didn't know what was gonna happen.
And he pulls out the gun.
I was like, he can't do anything. Man, when he pulled out that gun though, like in my mind, I was like, bro, you're human. He's Spider-Man. He could literally smack your head out the window right now. Like, there's no way. His spidey sense, instantly when you try to go reach, he's way faster. Yeah. His reflexes are...
100%.
There's nothing. Like, he could have took him down right there.
Oh, easy. Easy.
He could have took him down right there, but like you said, that moment, he had to keep that
composure. Exactly.
That was so good.
Bro,
that was so good.
And then the crazy part to me, though, is you saw the switch on Tom Holland's face.
Yes.
Because he got cocky.
He did.
He was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like, oh, boy. Like, he's such a dope actor, but that scene was so good, bro.
Yeah.
And like the banter between them in that moment was just fly.
It was good. That dialogue,
bro.
That car scene was
show her a good time, not too good. And I was like, bro, like it was just, and he thought he had him, but he knew that he was gonna come after him.
He knew. He knew it.
He knew it.
That's why he had the whole thing set up.
Yep.
He had everything planned out. He already had Shaka outside.
Yep.
He literally probably called him like, yo, bro.
Yep.
Guess who it is?
Yep.
Just be outside.
Yep.
He already knew because he's a hero. Hero's always gonna end up saving a day.
Yep.
And bro, that was dope.
Yeah, bro.
What was unexpected is that he didn't expect Spider-Man to keep progressing as far as he did.
Correct.
That was what caught people off guard, and that was a point. I think that was the whole main point of this movie for Spider-Man was to prove a point to everybody that he can do more.
Yeah.
That he's not just this spider, kid running around.
Yep.
No, I can do more.
Yep.
I need to prove myself, and that's what he did. He proved himself.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, he proved himself because at the end,
bro. Yes.
100%. Like what? 15-year-old? You better be put on. You better be put on at 15. What?
100%.
Not even you ain't get to college yet.
Yeah.
He ain't even go through his MJ phase. Nothing.
Yeah.
They was about to put him on.
Yeah, bro. I was like okay,
bruh.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Super tight.
Dope.
So obviously, there's no perfect movie.
Right.
So we're gonna talk about some of the maybe things that we didn't like or thought maybe could have been done a little bit better. So what were some things for you that you were like, nah, I wasn't really feeling this?
I mean, honestly, it wasn't. I didn't have too many parts. For some reason, the one part of the movie that really just had me, I literally sat in my seat when I saw it. I went. I was like, really? It was just the part where right after he came outside of school and Shocker showed up, started smacking him around. When he got smacked into the bus, and he do when he fell, and it was literally a quick cut scene of a bottom of a bus seat with a bunch of bubble gum, and he was just like, ew, that's gross, and then kept on going. For me, they could have done without that.
Okay.
Like, you're Spider-Man, especially because it was closer to the end of the movie. It's like, bro, we know who you are. We know your capabilities. For me, like, that wasn't necessary. It was like such a quick cut scene that it really didn't make a difference. But it pulled me out of the, just the action sequence between him and Shocker. It was like, he was trying to get his joints. Shocker was smacking buses around. Smacked him into the bus. I feel like they could have just did it a different way. other than just bubblegum under a seat. Because, like I said, it took me out of that zone. Like, I was like, oh, snaps. He got smacked to the bus. What's about the...
Right.
Okay. Like, I was just like, really? Like, he had to say that right there?
Right.
Like, it could have been anything else. I just feel like, for some reason, just him getting smacked, like, the smacking the bus is fine, but him just seeing the bubblegum under the seat and just saying that, that's gross. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it could have been anything else other than that. To me, that just didn't do anything for me at all. Okay. I was like, bro, they could have just cut that and just been done.
Okay.
That just didn't. Ugh.
Yeah. All right. See, like to me, like that scene, it made sense for me. Like it's not that it didn't make sense for you, but I felt like for me, it was more of like, I agree, it didn't need to be there, but it didn't. For me, it didn't detract anything from me personally.
Yeah.
But what kind of did, and we talked about it a little bit before, was Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Where we know where he's gonna end up eventually if they use him as that character. They may or may not.
Right.
But just knowing how big of a part of Spider-Man's story he is, I just felt like he was just either too underutilized, or it was just more so of like you're on the same level as him. Like it just didn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like he was adding any resistance to Peter.
Right.
Like Peter Parker didn't really have, I think the only resistance he had was trying to hide his identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then him trying to want to talk to this girl. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, I want to tell her, but I don't want to tell her. And he's talking to his suit. But like, I felt like he didn't really have a lot of resistance as Peter.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like you said, because when Flash even first showed up, I didn't know it was Flash.
Yeah.
Like when Peter first showed up and he drove by, I didn't know it was Flash. I thought it was just some random guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, just some random dude.
Right.
Just, okay, cool. And then
Exactly.
end up later, we found out he was Flash. I was like, that's Flash? Like,
yeah. I was like, all right.
Like, he just says these little lines here and there that kind of poke at Peter, but never nothing like...
Yeah.
You know? It was no real threat.
That's why I was like...
Flash. I know they're sophomores.
Yeah.
But still, Flash was always smacking Peter around. Like, he was really the bully. He would stuff Peter in lockers.
Yeah.
You know? That's what the Flash we know, though.
Right.
So they put a little twist on him, but like I said, it didn't...
Yeah.
It didn't put any type of...
I mean, from the other side, I can see like maybe they're trying to break stereotypes because they did a lot of stereotype breaking in the movie. They did a lot of
stereotype breaking, which I enjoyed.
So I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe that was one of them. It was like, you know, you don't have to be a bully and be a jock. But I don't know. Like I just felt like even if he wasn't a jock, I just didn't feel like he had that kind of opposition that I would enjoy Peter to have.
Yeah.
So that was just the only thing that I really felt like I was kind of like about. But it didn't like take me out of the movie. I just thought hopefully maybe in the next movies we'll get to see more Peter Parker adversity.
Yes.
So some of the reveals, and I have one that I didn't actually write down. Donald Glover's character, I felt, is alluding to something else. Because he said that, he's like, oh, I don't like guns in my area either. I have, what he said, a nephew or a younger brother? I have a nephew in the area as well.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people that are into the comics know that there's a black Spider-Man named Miles Morales. So for me, I'm thinking, is that alluding to somebody he knows in the future? Because that scene didn't really need to be there.
That's true, too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that they're like, oh, we found this character. We see his face. We can locate who he is.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would you show him? You know what I'm saying? And and the character, it seemed like he was going to mean more.
No, I mean, we don't know what they're going to do with him, but I feel like there's a huge opportunity. They left him a huge window to be like, hey, you have a spot.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't a bad guy.
Right.
He wasn't a real criminal. He was like, yo, you got any other things? Like just a regular gun?
Right.
Like, he's like, I just needed to scare somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's like, I don't need to. He wasn't really trying to kill or be a villain. So, and like you said, he was just buying groceries, ice cream and shit.
He's like, I got ice cream in the...
He's like, man, this is off for 2 hours. I got ice cream, homie. That shit was funny.
That was super funny.
I was like, he had like little parts, and his character wasn't out like even like his character
super
was
reserved.
Super reserved. And I was like,
yeah.
So like that's a good point. They left the window open for him.
Straight up.
He might pop up again. Might help Spider-Man out in the future.
Possibly.
You know?
But I'm just thinking like...
he might become another character.
Possibly. I'm just thinking because he was like my nephew, so I'm like, okay, why would you say that? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't need to say, well, my nephew lives in this neighborhood, blah, blah. You can be like, oh, you know, I live in this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you had to say nephew for a reason.
Right.
So Who knows? Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think maybe a Miles Morales thing going on? Maybe not. Next thing, though, Iron Spider suit.
Oh, that reveal was sick.
Boy.
That suit looks crazy.
So, obviously, he turns it down.
Yes.
Turns it down, but the theater went nuts.
Yes.
Theater went crazy for this part.
Yo.
Like,
I mean, the suit looked crazy.
Bro.
Because I'm thinking the Iron Spider suit was going to be, like, bulky a little, low-key.
Yeah.
But that shit looked, boy.
Yeah.
Like, perfect. Like,
100%.
I was like, oh, if he puts that on, it's over.
Bro, so I'm going to do a separate video on Iron Spider suit, what I think they could use it for. But I thought the reveal of it, because they showed it.
They showed it.
So they're going to use it. We just don't know when.
When, yeah.
But
we don't know when.
Subscribe. Make sure you have the notification on, because we're going to go over theories around that suit in an upcoming video. So make sure you guys have that locked in for sure.
Yeah.
But next one is MJ.
MJ was tight.
Bro.
And you know what's dope? They kept her character so in the background of the entire series, but they kept throwing you hints. Like, because she was always around.
Yep.
For no reason.
No reason.
And it was like, and she was always around Peter.
Yes.
For no reason.
Yes.
And she just knew shit about Peter for no reason.
Bro.
So it was kind of like, who are you? It was just like, that's what I kept thinking. I'm like, why are you such a creep?
Bro.
But she played an amazing creep.
She did.
She played an amazing creep, but she was intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, she was very smart. So it was like, why are you a creeper? You know, but it was dope. Yeah. She played that part very well, since it was a very small part. She was there at the right moments. They put her in all the right moments. Yeah. Like, even just the quick one-liners she had. Yeah. It was a great moment.
Yeah, the Washington Monument scene that had me.
Bro.
People were dying in the theater on that scene, bro. That shit was hilarious.
Great moments with her. When we found out, you know, because her name is Michelle. Yeah. So I was like, because he says, oh, Michelle's the new team leader. Yeah. And we're like, okay, Michelle, that's cool. And then it was like, okay, she's a cool character to be a team leader. And then, oh yeah, my friends call me MJ. MJ.
I was like, everybody was like, oh, that reveal was so tight.
It was like, okay, that's who she is. Yep. So, yeah, it was definitely something to look forward to. She gave him that little look. She gave him that look like, yeah, Peter, I'm coming for that ass. Yeah.
Back to Iron Man. We had another reveal of a ring that old boy's had since 2008, which was hilarious because they time-stamped the movie, first Iron Man, which is super tight. Legend.
That was great.
I was like, yo, this is super dope.
That was dope. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, oh, I got it.
Yep.
I had this since 08.
So, like, so, and because of the previous movies, I think there was Civil War, they talked about how Iron Man and Potts had kind of been on this like hiatus.
Yeah.
We didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
So now
they're back together. And obviously, well, not obviously, but maybe
it's implying that he's probably about to propose on stage right now.
He gave him that ring.
Yep.
So
let us know what you guys think. Do you think there's going to be a proposal? Do you think when we see them in the next movie, he will be married to Pepper Potts? Let us know your guys' thoughts on that. And then our final one, obviously the post-credit scene with Vulture in jail talking to Scorpion.
Yeah, that was dope.
So my thoughts on this is I felt that he didn't tell who Peter Parker was out of respect for Peter Parker. I felt like he respected him enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the respect, and at the same time, potentially,
he gonna go back for that ass.
Exactly.
Right.
He wants it for himself.
Yeah.
So I feel like he didn't want to say anything. And maybe because if they find out that Peter was into his daughter, that maybe his daughter may be in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
There could be a lot. Because remember he was saying, you know, I don't want you to come to my trial.
Right. He don't want them to be too close.
Yeah, so I feel like he's trying to keep his family
He's trying to keep his family safe as possible. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He for sure said that for sure one of those reasons. Because that makes complete sense. Yeah. I agree with that. For sure, for one, I feel like safety of his family. Yeah. Because that's the main thing. Like, all these niggas is evil. Mm-hmm. So they're all going to come for each other. Yep. You know? And then that respect. Yeah. Because he saved his life. Yep. Saved his daughter's life. Yep. So he was like, look, you saved my daughter's life. Yep. I give you a pass. Yep. You saved my life. I give you a pass.
But I'm coming back.
But don't worry, once I'm out of here, it's on.
It's on. Now I'm curious to see, like, will Scorpion be the next big bad for the next movie? Do you think they'll skip him?
Nah, he'll still be in jail. Depending on how long.
True.
How far along they are years-wise.
True.
I mean, if he's only a junior, it's only 1 year difference.
True.
Then, you know.
Depending on how long he's in jail.
Depending on how long he's in jail, or if he gets out, they break out. Whatever the case is.
Right.
It all depends. But honestly, I wouldn't want the Scorpion to be the big bad in the next
I agree.
one at all. I would not want Scorpion to be a big bad. Give me another character.
Yeah.
Give me somebody.
Because he has an arsenal of characters he can go up against. He has an arsenal. Yes, like if they bring back like Green Goblin, because like to me this had like a very Green Goblin vibe. He had his thing that flew on its own. You know what I'm saying? Like had its own whatever to it. So we may not even see another Green Goblin.
Right.
You know, but if we do, considering what they did with this guy,
we know he's gonna be ridiculous,
crazy.
We do a Hobgoblin maybe, but we already know from this one villain alone. Yeah. They could do some crazy things.
Boy.
Do some crazy things. But I think they're really going to play off of that tech being out there.
Yeah.
So they're going to get another techie villain in there.
For sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's alien tech all over right now.
All over the place.
So motherfuckers are taking it for advantage. Just like he was.
Yep.
So many other people are doing the same thing. He wasn't the only one.
Yep.
There's somebody in their garage plotting right now.
Bro.
So it's like.
And another thing too, like we don't know if the other guy that's in the... Remember the other guy was helping build stuff?
Yeah.
There's still people that were working with him that we don't know where they went.
We don't know where they are. Yep. They could be pissed off. Like, damn, I might have a job. Now what? Yep. That guy was hella smart, so for sure he could build some crazy shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
So we don't even know, but let me know what you guys think about Spider-Man Homecoming, what your reactions were to it. What things that maybe we left out, things that you were like, are you really excited about those things? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah. Make sure you follow my boy Toshi at ToshiAdventures. He's on everything, Insta, Snapchat, Twitter, everything, ToshiAdventures. He does gaming stuff as well. He's a massive nerd, super sick dancer. So make sure you guys check him out. Hey. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any future content like this. I will be doing a Iron Spider Suit Theory video coming up this week, so make sure you guys subscribe to that. Yeah. Other than that, guys, last video will be here to the side. Till next time. See you later.
Hey.